This is just a song that I'm unable to get away from. No matter how hard I try, no matter what I try to think about, there is no denying that Lil Pump's Gucci Gang has made it to number 3 or number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Now, this isn't a bad thing or me saying that, you know, hip hop is at risk. You know, we need to switch things up. We need to make sure this never happens again, because in all honesty, it's gonna keep happening and it's gonna keep occurring. And I think the biggest thing that people who really value hip hop should ask themselves is, do you genuinely have a problem with it? You may be a little shocked at the title of this video, and I don't want you to be, simply because it's true. I have examples for you. But the first thing I would like to say is I initially reacted not so badly to Gucci Gang. Gucci Gang wasn't a song that I categorized as trash or tried to make seem as though no one else should be listening to, because I did highlight some of the more redeeming qualities of the song, like the production, the bass, the extremely annoying hook. None of that was really an issue. Like I said in that same video, the only problem most people would have after a time of listening to it is understanding that, hey, at the end of the day, this is still Lil Pump, and should I really be listening to this? Perception versus reality. You have this perception of Lil Pump that he's this 17-year-old Xan poppin' breakdown of the common brain, like to a molecular level. That's the perception of Lil Pump, is that he's literally unnecessary and he has nothing to give to the genre that he's a part of. All that might be fine and dandy, but the reality is, for some people, Lil Pump just makes some catchy music. I wasn't planning on returning to my channel until like next week, because Hopsin has a new album out and I was gonna do an album review for that one. But I think the biggest thing that has me understanding people who enjoy Lil Pump is understanding that people fetishize cynicism and stating the obvious. You know, that's why I say Lil Pump's Gucci Gang song is a very easy target, because it's not a song that you need to be a brain scientist or a rocket scientist to be able to dissect and listen to. I mean, you listen to it, it's not something you need to really uncover or unlayer. You just listen to the song and that's it. If you really criticize Gucci Gang, what's wrong with you? Now, I'm just not a fan of Lil Pump's music, okay? I said that in my album review or my mixtape review of his self-titled project. Like, I really was not a fan of it. There was nothing really enjoyable about it, and my main gripe was the fact that it's only enjoyable when I'm not paying attention to what I'm hearing. And my friends take me places, and when they do, they end up playing this song like unintentionally, you know, unironically. We end up listening to this song like over and over and over again, and there's nothing enjoyable about it, but we keep listening to it. Not because the song is good, but because when you accept a song or an artist for what they are, I think there's just less frustration in general with them. At the end of the day, I'm not comparing a Kendrick Lamar to Lil Pump, because they're not in the same lane. We all know that Lil Pump is literally the greatest rapper alive. He came out of Harvard to save the rap game. He gave Tupac the blueprint. So essentially, Lil Pump was the inventor of rap music the way we know it today. I mean, there's no denying that. But let's be serious here for a second. The cynicism I'm talking about is when people openly compare artists that aren't in the same lane and don't make the same kind of music. You ever look at somebody you used to go to school with and they were just, you know, obviously physically weaker than someone else, or they were much shorter than someone else, or you could see why this person was a little bit more timid or shy or something, and you look at them and be like, you know what, that's too easy. And that's like the bully mentality. Like, you look at someone you know isn't up to par with what you would deem as someone you wouldn't bully, and you bully them. That's the bully mentality. And that's what people do in regards to Lil Pump's music. They look at it, they can see it's so much weaker than other forms of music, and they still see fit to compare it to that same kind of music. If you were to compare Lil Pump to Playboy Cardi, if you were to compare Lil Pump to Lil Yachty, do you really think there's that much competition there? Take him and compare him to someone within his subclass, not someone that, you know, is at the top. At the end of the day, people who listen to hip-hop are gonna get two kind of hip-hops, you know? You have people that really despise hip-hop, and their examples for despising hip-hop versus their reasons for loving hip-hop are people like Hopsin and people like Lil Pump. You know, they go on the internet, they find a bunch of lyrics, they find a bunch of popular rap music that's really trashy and really stupid. Music from people like Future, music from people like Post Malone, music from people like Young Thug, music from people like Lil Pump. And they find this music and they go and find someone who is the polar opposite of this individual and compare them. And this is their example for why ABC is trash, but DEF isn't. Lil Pump's music is just so easy to hate on. It's so easy to look at and constantly ridicule and criticize. Now, while I can't necessarily say I enjoy Lil Pump's music, and I'm certainly not going back to Gucci Gang intentionally, if it comes on, I'll bump it because I don't have to listen to it if I want to listen to it, if that makes any sense. And another question I have for the people who are watching this video is, what do you classify Lil Pump as if he's not hip-hop or if he's not like a rapper? Because if there is this list of commandments that rappers who are popular need to abide by, and Pump isn't abiding by them, why are you upset that he's making this type of music? I mean, and again, this comes into the idea of the whole culture vulture thing, which is, I'm going to use this platform in this genre to up my own ante. I'm going to use this platform to basically increase my popularity while adding nothing to it. But Lil Pump, on the other hand, isn't actually trying to make any broad statements. And people's biggest gripe with Lil Pump is the fact that it's easy to do what he's doing. People feel like they could easily replace Lil Pump, or anyone could easily replace Lil Pump, and it wouldn't be an issue. This isn't something that's native to Lil Pump. So they feel like if you don't have a talent or something that only you can do, then you shouldn't actually be in the position that you're in. You don't necessarily need to have talent to be popular. If you look at Lil Pump, right, and let's compare him real quick to somebody like Troy Ave. Troy Ave gets no clout, okay? No clout at all, because for one, he's a bad rapper. He's a bad rapper. He tries to rap and he's bad at it. So he's not going to be successful because he's a bad rapper. Lil Pump, on the other hand, what does he do? I've never really seen or heard Lil Pump try to rap. He just goes in, and I assume he just freestyles every song that he hops on. And by default, there are going to be more people that mess with Pump because he's not trying to be a lyricist or a hardcore rapper or trying to tell a story with his music and being uninteresting while he's doing it. So there's going to be more appeal in a guy who's just making music to make it, as opposed to trying to make a statement, trying to be lyrical, trying to be the voice of our generation. So when I say Lil Pump is an easy target, I pay attention to what people complain about and what people feel like they can take on. I had the same issue with Joyner Lucas saying that, you know, he was this great lyricist or this great rapper beforehand, but comes at people in a song like Lil Yachty, people who are going to give him no competition. And I see the same thing with people who have issues with Lil Pump's music. They constantly ridicule it, they constantly criticize it. Unlike me, I just don't like it, okay? I'll just say I don't like it. I'm not comparing it to anyone, I just don't like the music. But I see people who talk trash about Lil Pump, and their comparisons are so unrealistic. Like they're arguing something they know they have a chance at winning, which is why they keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. I saw a tweet not too long ago that says Lil Pump's Gucci Gang is repeated 56 times. And then that exact same tweet was copy and pasted to a forum I later read. No credit to the original person who made the tweet, but the dude was taking all these compliments. He was like, yeah man, great joke, amazing. Like you're reviewing someone's review of an artist that everyone accepts as trash. It's like an ego booster to win an argument that no one's arguing. And I see Lil Pump for what he is, a guy who, while I do hope continues to have success in this industry, won't last long in the long run. And if that's the case, I don't think he needs to be spoken of as if he needs to be the MLK Jr. for the hip-hop generation. Acknowledge him as a vulture if you want. Acknowledge him as someone who doesn't really contribute to the genre that he's a part of and the one that's popularizing his name. But Gucci Gang is such an easy target. Oh my god, I hear the exact same arguments for this song over and over and over again. Like, let it go. It's Shawn C. Hopsin album review most likely will be recorded tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.